In order to remove the circuit board from the CS1, you'll first need to remove the grips. Please see the separate video on how to remove the grips from the grip frame. Once the grips have been removed, you must first unplug the power cables. These power cables take power from the battery pack into the circuit board. Carefully lift the wires out away from the circuit board, then gently pull and unplug. Power cable unplug. Move that to one side. Now turn over. The marker allows access to 3 screws on this side. These 3 screws hold the circuit board in place. Remove these 3 screws using a 2mm or 5/64 driver. Take the screws out and place to one side. These are the same screws that also hold the rear grips onto the frame. Once those 3 screws have been removed, the circuit board needs to be lifted out from the bottom, paying attention to the fact there's a tab at the top that's retaining the top of the circuit board. Lift away and out. The circuit board is now been removed from the marker. Replacing the circuit board is simply reversing the processes of removal. Make sure that the micro switch doesn't get caught on the micro switch screw and the trigger. Place in top circuit board first underneath the tab, gently lower it down into position. With the circuit board in position, carefully put the 3 retaining screws back in. Don't over tighten them at this stage. Once the circuit board's in place, make sure the screws are loose. Push and hold the circuit board using the push buttons so that the circuit board is pushed into its forward position in the frame. And tighten up the 3 screws. And again, go around and just nip them into place to make sure they don't come loose in use. Once those 3 screws have been replaced, turn the circuit board over and plug in power cable, making sure that it's firmly pushed down into its socket, and then paying close attention that the power cable doesn't get trapped between the trigger and the micro switch or behind the micro switch. This will cause very mushy feeling to the trigger, so make sure the wires are tucked out behind the micro switch and out of the way of the trigger itself. The circuit board has now been replaced.